Okay, sorry. Alright, so this first one, some people were looking at this and they were thinking it was too complex and started multiplying it. What are you doing? What's the operation?
Oh yeah.
What can you combine?
Yeah, but 4 and 6 and 2i.
What do 4 and 6 make?
10.
What do 2i and negative I make?
I.
That's your answer?
Okay.
It's not too bad. It's not too bad.
Oh yeah.
Questions?
Yeah, but
Keep on track. This one right here. We're multiplying. We're multiplying. We have to take both of the monomials. Remember monomials, that one value that we talked about. In the first parentheses and multiply it by both of the monomials in the second parentheses. So we're going to first take 3 and multiply it by negative 7. What's 3 times negative 7?
Negative 21.
We need to take 3 multiplied by negative 6. What's 3 times negative 6i at least?
Negative 18i.
Negative 18i. And negative 9 times negative 7, negative times negative 7. 9 times 7? 7 times 7 is 49. 63.
That's why you got it.
And then what's negative 9 times negative 9i times negative 6i?
Is it negative
54.
It's positive 54i squared. You're going to get a positive, but what is I squared?
Is it negative? What or positive?
Well, I is equal to what?
Negative 1.
Square root of negative 1. So I squared is equal to
What?
negative 1. We need to know that. You just get rid of the square root symbol when you square it. And you're just left with what's on the inside, which is that negative 1. I is an imaginary number. I squared is not. The whole reason why we have I is so that once we square it, it disappears. We don't have to deal with it.
Wait a second.
So then will it be negative 54?
So this is going to be negative 54. Yes.
Is that plus 54?
Yeah.
I looked at my paper and you did an arrow saying it's supposed to be a minus.
Well, you crossed out your I. Once you cross out the I, you need to change it to a minus because it changes to a negative 54. So you can't just cross out your I and just leave it. So it changes to a minus when you do that. Okay? Negative 21 and negative 54 make what?
Negative 75.
Negative 18i and 63i make what?
Okay.
55. 45.
45i.
Yeah.
So the biggest mistake I saw of this was people just didn't know what to do with I squared. I squared is negative 1. Okay, just change the sign of the number there, and you can get rid of it. Okay, this one right here, we don't want I in the denominator. What do we want to multiply by?
3 plus 5.
3 plus 5i, that's going to be 3 plus 5i over 3 plus 5i. Because anything over itself, it has a value of 1. So we have to first multiply the top. Negative 1 times 3. Negative 3. Negative 1 times 5i. Negative 5i. What is 3i times 3? Holly, what's 3i times 3?
What?
What's 3i times 3?
Oh, no.
I don't know, I'm just asking you a little bit. And then what is 3i times 5i?
15 I squared. Or 15 plus I.
Or you can make this not positive 15, but
Yeah.
negative 15. And then on the bottom we're going to have 3 times 3, which is
9.
3 times 5i, which is
59.
negative 5i times 3 is.
Negative 59.
So those two are going to cancel out.
Cancel out. And then we have 25i squared.
Negative 25i squared,
Yeah, or
which
25.
should change it into 25. Okay. 9 plus 25 is?
90, 31, 34. Okay.
And the top, negative 3, negative 15 give us negative 18. 5, negative 5i and 4i would give us, or 9i give us 4i. Negative 5i and 9i give us 4i.
9.
Do note, this could be reduced because 2 goes in everything to negative 9 plus 2i over 17.
Wait, how's that negative? How'd you get negative 18?
Because negative 3 and negative 15. Because the I squared, then change that to a negative 15. That's okay. If you have questions, please ask.
Why did you do the 3 plus 5i in the beginning? Why did you? No. Before, that.
Oh, because we're trying to get rid of what's on the bottom. When you choose that, yeah, I didn't go into that, but because some people knew it. So I thank you for asking the question. So if you change the sign to 3 plus 5i, you just look at the denominator.
Mm-hmm.
You change the sign, you see how the center cancels out. You end up with only a number.
Alright.
So you write the same thing from the denominator, but just change the sign.
So the basis of it
So
is
just so it cancels?
change the sign, put it top and bottom, and FOIL both sides.
Yes.
Okay.
And then in the end, what actually happens is we could write this as -9 over 17 plus 2 over 17i, and that's technically in complex number, correct complex number format, because you're supposed to have a value plus a value I, like a plus bi. Remember that's how we're talking about complex numbers the first time we talked about that. So I accepted this as an answer, I even accepted this as an answer, but technically this is the best answer because you have it in complex number format. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Number 4.
This is based off of the graph. If you guys remember, we were graphing these in class. I'll give myself much room. Where you go to 6 would be considered the horizontal axis. -5 would be considered the vertical axis. And so you get this point down here, which is considered that this value on the complex number grid. I can't. So this distance, the absolute value of any number is its distance from 0, so we're determining this distance.
Is that?
It works like a squared plus b squared equals c squared, because there's a triangle here with a 5 side, or a 6 side and a 5 side. All you really have to remember is that you just do a squared plus b squared, but you have to square root it because it's equal to c squared.
So how do we answer it?
So what's a?
A is 6.
What's b?
5.
Or yeah, it's going to be -5, but yeah, it's.
Oh, negative. Okay.
But either way, it's going to be. It doesn't really matter. It's 6 squared.
36.
5 squared.
5. Yeah, 25.
Or -5 squared, yeah. Sorry. It's 36 and 25 make.
50. No, 61.
This is the square root of 61. The square root of 61.
So we don't even need to use a graph. We just.
You don't need to use the graph. You don't need to worry about the graph. It just wants you to get this answer.
Alright, so we just square them. Square. Okay.
It's the distance of 0. If you guys remember, it's because when we're graphing them, that's how far away it is from 0. That's its distance from 0.
Wait, okay, is that 6 squared or is that what?
6 squared.
No, up top.
6 minus 5i, is that what we're talking
No,
about?
the second one.
A squared plus b squared.
Oh,
Square root of a squared plus b squared.
it looked like 9 squared plus 6 squared.
Because this is a, that's b.
Cool.